But basically, you want to try to not fight him with Mocking Shout on. But one thing that you have that's really really powerful is Tempest / Cripple dominates the heck out of any auto attacker, and he does not have tools aside from auto attacks. He crits for more and deals more damage, but like you nerf his attack speed and he's just like gone. And so what you want to do is basically, I know apparently if Goodly sends max shield over Tempest Cripple, I think that's dumb because Tempest Cripple has a great level up incentive, which is a giant freaking slow. Whereas shield buff is good, obviously you'll get more durable, but like it doesn't even have a cooldown incentive. Like I don't understand why people rank W, honestly, but okay. And so with Tempest Cripple, as long as you tank that first shot and you're okay, the first time he comes in at you, you survive, then you have this case where you basically just destroy his attack speed and his move speed. So either he runs at you, just like walks up towards you, and you're like, okay, this is going to be obvious, slam the ground twice, or he spins at you, and then you slam the ground twice, and then he can't run away, so you hit him while he's slowed. In both these cases, your cooldown is better. You get that attack speed buff from hitting your spells. Mocking Shout up until level 8 is only going to be 20 AD, which honestly should be covered immediately by runes and masteries, and well, that's already 18. So, and then if you go Wriggles, you've got another 23 on top of that, so you're at 40 attack damage. So then even until level 10, you're still fine. Meanwhile, he's got Bloodlust and all that, but you still dominated the heck out of his attack speed. And up till level 10, realistically, like, you're fine. Oh, so, yeah, so Elysium vs. Tryndamere is the question. So, Tempest / Cripple and then fight is really the big one. And then being able to land that Q combo is really, really big. It's a very big part of his damage output. If you can't land the Q in the middle of a fight, you're losing out on, like, 400 damage, which is so incredibly significant. That matters a whole heck of a lot. You need to land that. And you combine that with the fact that you can go Safeguard / Iron Will, gain some armor. Realistically, I think all of his spells combined are like, I think it's 80 energy per spell. If you cast both, it's like they're 50-30 each. I think that's correct. I could be wrong. Probably wrong. Could look it up. Not going to. So like if you land basically like 2 basic attacks, you can full combo all your spells. Because you'll get 30 back, and it'll take at least 1 second, so you'll regain another 10, and then yeah. So you hit Tempest Cripple immediately, Safeguard Iron Will pretty quickly, and then Q into Q, and you're gonna do some really good damage. He's slowed, you shielded most of the damage output, you gain some bonus armor and lifesteal and spell vamp. Like you're in good shape at that point. So that's kind of how I feel. Like you can shield and sustain the damage back. You can completely just demolish his damage output against you because it's all auto attack based. And then you just chill out with your spells, and you should be able to push them around. Like I think it's a decent lane. Now like level 13, Trynd with minus 100 AD on you, and max strength Bloodlust has giant screw you sustain, and that's going to get more difficult. One of the reasons that Lee Sin's max W second is the armor and lifesteal obviously is very important. It's not just the shield. So that you individually become a better fighter. I understand that. I like the damage output of slamming the ground, and the giant slow is so underrated, but it's a thought. So as Vayne, I believe Condemn is the more used build because Vaynes are playing as burst AD, crush your face, push you into a wall, have a low cooldown on Condemn, so that it's actually much stronger. They can use it more often to push people around. It's especially good when you have like a Taric or it actually works well with Taric, Alistar, and Soraka on your team. If Soraka's on your team, you basically just attack, tumble, attack, condemn, and you do a bunch of damage there because the base damage on condemn goes up to like 190 or something, which is pretty decent. Because it's also going to trigger silver bolts and all that. And it's 380 if you hit a wall, which is even better. If you have an Alistar or a Taric, the stun will set up a Condemn stun, and you want to never be waiting on Condemn's cooldown to make that happen. And if you hit a wall, it's like 380 damage if you max it first, so freaking lot of damage. And then I think Silver Bolts is just second. Silver Bolts does some good damage, but like it doesn't really do a whole lot, like level 4 or so. So you don't need to like rush those points. I feel. Stealth rework is, it's still planned. I don't have any TA for you guys. When was the last time a champion surprised Riot with his performance? I assume you're talking about damage output and power. Honestly, I don't think any of the recent champions have surprised us at all. I think every champion, I think Fizz was the most surprising in that Fizz was more powerful than we gave him credit for. Especially because we were like, Fizz is going to be hard to play, like, you know, he'll be hard to play, whatever, like, we'll let it go. You know, because there's things like Orianna that are, like, extremely hard to play, and, like, let's be fair, we're not going to be experts at her either when she comes out. You know, we'll do the best we can to say, okay, you know, we know she's difficult, we feel this would be an appropriate power level, and then she came out, and dudes were like, Orianna's weak, / Orianna's pretty balanced. And it took like a month for the pro community to be like, dude, Orianna's ridic. So, like, even the pro, like, hardcore freaking, you know, pro gamer community is like, I don't know. Best champion that was released in like a year, like, as far as power goes. Orianna freaking strong. So, you know, with that in mind, you know, let's look at that, right? So, Fizz we thought would be, you know, is a pretty difficult to play champion. He's melee, which is usually a little bit scary. Although, you know, melee assassins are kind of easy to pick up and play. Like, Nocturne was like OP day one, because it's really easy to play Nocturne. Like, he's got some nuance, but like, you press buttons on your keyboard and attack a dude, and the dude dies. So it was very easy for players to be like, oh yeah, he's really powerful. Dude, he feels too powerful, and he was, you know, so we nerfed him. Fizz was, you know, not as straightforward. He just has a lot of front-loaded burst, but like, he was squishy. People were actually, you know, better than I guess we anticipated at using Playful Trickster, and so he was better than we had thought. But like, let's look back at like the last 15 releases. Graves was too strong, but so let's go like post Graves then, because I don't remember the last 15 we released specifically. Shyvana honestly is pretty close. A lot of people say she's weak because she has no CC, but like, Mordekaiser was weak and had no CC, and Mordekaiser was actually just, you know, giant brick in the lane. It was actually very powerful. You know, we did the Mordekaiser remake where we, like, you know, messed around with all his values and half, you know, put the ult as half front loaded. People were like, you nerfed Mord, and we're like, no, we didn't. And then, you know, 6 months down the line, everyone's like, Mord's a top pick in solo queue at 2000 elo. And everywhere. Okay, Mord's actually good. And we're like, yeah, kind of told you that. So, you know, you don't need a CC to be good, and Mordekaiser's the case for that. Garen the same way as well. Yeah, so Shyvana, you know, a lot of damage, but, you know, still hasn't gotten touched. Honestly, she's not worthless. Like, you see Shyvana, you're like, okay, Shyvana, yeah. Like, really tanky, good damage. No, not a lot of control, but pretty good. Ahri, I think she's perfectly balanced. Hard to play, really good assassin. She snowballs really hard because if she wins her lane, she wins her lane really hard, and then ganks bottom and bottom dies. Before Ahri, oh yeah, Volibear. Volibear day one community was like, he's so OP, but it's because he had a burst skill that people didn't calculate, so they died to it a lot. And, you know, they was like, oh my gosh, there's so much damage, but he doesn't do damage from other abilities. And honestly, people were like, and then when we nerfed the W, people were like, why'd you nerf Volibear? He was fine. And it's the kind of thing where it's like, well, realistically, that skill is like OP. Like, that skill needed to go down. Now, I think maybe we need to give him something to compensate, and maybe we do that in the future. But, like, that W is a little bit ridiculous, and so, you know, needed to go down. But, like, Volibear was actually pretty balanced. You know, we knew that. We knew Fury was a very good skill, but, you know, we knew that power level. Xerath hasn't even been touched. He has a bug fix in the next patch. But, like, community was like, Xerath is terrible. I dodge his Q all day. And, oh my god, you can only play him in a full pre-mid because he's a long-range artillery. No, dude, Xerath dominates kids freaking hard. He's a just standard good AP mage. He's also really long-range and has no escape. So, yeah, okay, he's a little bit difficult to play. But, like, Xerath's a pretty good guy. So, you know, these are all champions that, you know, we released. And that, you know, I've been actually paying special attention to their release, you know, cadence. And it's like, yeah, we think this guy is good or strong. And they have been. Now, certainly you could say that, you know, maybe they're a little bit too strong. And I think Graves was a good example of that, where Graves came out a bit too strong. But, like, you know, I'm trying to think of it. Oh, you know, Riven. I remember when Riven was released, and people were like, Riven's a piece of trash. And so we, like, I mean, she actually got some pretty substantial buffs. She got, like, cooldown and shield amount on E, and basically cast time and stun duration on W. Those are basically the changes. Little usability things like if I Q on a guy, I'll auto attack him afterwards, but, you know, whatever. she's like a giant, like, crazy powerful top lane champion. I think she's difficult to play, so she's not like taking over the game, but like she's really good now. Like you don't have a lot you can do against Riven, because we increased some cast timers. Like to be fair, Riven was actually really good on release. People just couldn't really play her that well. So I wouldn't say surprised. Like we don't release a champion, we're like, this guy's clearly underpowered. Oh crud, he's dominating people. Yeah, I wouldn't really think that we're necessarily surprised. Graves, I didn't pay a lot of attention to his release, honestly, so I couldn't tell you if we, knew coming out that he was going to be too strong. We never intentionally like released too strong champions. Like, look at Ari. Community's like, she's so weak, and like it'd be really easy to make another Xin Zhao and just be like broken. So it was kind of a long, rambly answer. I don't really know if that answered the question properly. So last time we got surprised. Yeah, I mean, Fizz was better than I think we thought he would be. Oh, and then of course here's the actual post. Like Jungle Eve. Jungle Eve had been around. Like we'd seen it before. It just we'd seen Jungle Eve and we're like, okay, whatever. And Eve was kind of weak. And then we like went and like buffed her mana cost. We're like, Eve's being kind of cruddy. She's not whatever. Let's buff Eve. And they started crushing people. We're like, okay, wow. Let's revert those buffs and just nerf the heck out of everything. So she actually got worse than when she was before. And people were like, well, she's still an invisible stunning ganker. Play more Jungle Eve. And it was just like, oh my god. Okay, let's just remove the stun. Like, stealth remake. Frickin' A. So Eve's a good example of that one, yeah. I don't think Revive Smite Eve is the best way to play Eve. There's always like a guy who mains a champion is like, here's the build and it's awesome. And he does pretty well. But he does well because he really is good at that champion, not necessarily because he needed to go Revive Smite. It certainly is fine. It's not bad, necessarily. But, like, you don't need the Revive there. Like, Exhaust helps you gank more. And, Revive helps your jungle pattern. But, like, there's ways to jungle without using Revive. Just like there's ways to gank people with Exhaust. That's really powerful. So, but, yeah, like, that's, there are things like that that are just, like, really dominant that we're like, well, shoot, we didn't really want that to happen. I don't know what that means. Victor is coming soonish. Is Gangplank going to get a legendary? Probably at some point. I would guess that at some point Gangplank would get a legendary. But I couldn't really give you any details on what that would be or when. Thank you, Omega Wizard. Alright, so let's take a question. What do you think about Ryze the balanced? I think Ryze is on the strong side. I don't think he's like flat OP, just because. So the thing with Ryze is he scales really hard, which means if you shut him down, he's really bad. He has no escape. He's in the fray. He has ACC that like he can only get spam a lot if he's able to chain spells, thus stay in a fight and have max CDR. So he is very reliant on getting and staying ahead, and that's always going to be a little bit scary. Actually, let me lean forward more so I actually am speaking into the microphone better, because like when I lean back this far, I'm about half as far away as when I am here. So so will you balance some champions instead of just non-stop creating new characters? So we do like that. We do like our champion release cadence. A lot of players really like that they have new content all the time. I mean, clearly it makes money. That's sure, but sure, Riot Games is a business, and skins are clearly only there to make money and to be pretty. Like there's no ulterior motive there. It's clearly part of the business, but people like them. There's a reason they pay for it. And additionally, a lot of players really like the new content. I mean, let's be fair. These skins are pretty freaking awesome. Like playing as and against Demon Blade Tryndamere is pretty sweet. The first time anyone saw Piltover Customs Blitzcrank. Like I was at CeBIT like a year ago or something, and one of the guys came up to me and was like, just one of the players in Europe came up and he was like, "Hey, I'm lovely legends, etc., etc., etc. I know you guys don't sell power, but the first time I ever played with Blitz with Blitzcrank's legendary skin, I died like at level 2 because I pressed W and heard the horn sound and just fell out of my chair laughing. So I was not able to control my character and died. I got over it afterwards, but like, come on, that's a really cool experience. Like, that's awesome. That's so awesome. So, that's just one of the many examples. Like, this new content is really sweet. Like, if we stopped making champions a year and a half ago, you guys wouldn't have really awesome people like Orianna and Jarvan and Aurelia and Nocturne and Riven and all these really phenomenal champions. So we're very happy that to keep releasing these champions and creating these really fun experiences for you guys. And it's on us to, of course, make really compelling gameplay and really fun champions that it's worth you guys playing them. As far as balancing goes, though, the second part of this question, I mean, we release balance changes every patch. One sec. We release balance changes every patch, so I mean, we're always getting the game closer to balance, and bringing down that top tier and bringing up the bottom tier. It's something we always do. So, I think we're doing both. So, for the RP thing, we will have messaging about. I forget exactly the rationale, but you'll see it in a bit. I don't commentate most online tournaments, just there's usually not time to do so. But ask why are Victor files. So the one thing is like winter break, like a lot of dudes taking vacation days for Christmas, for example, and the New Year. And so we kind of knew, like, going into Victor's release, like, we're not gonna all be in the office like the day of release, and so we kind of got ahead on Victor's sort of stuff and actually put some of his stuff into the build with the Ahri patch. The Ahri was actually the major patch there, and actually and so with the Victor patch, a lot of his stuff was already in the game because we wanted to make sure, like, when we release him, we're not releasing giant code changes that screw up the game, and like for some reason if we patch him in, if it breaks stuff, we need that to not happen. And so we tried to make sure that we wouldn't do that. Obviously people found the info about him, and we kind of expected that to happen realistically, but okay. What is the most common mistakes from low elo players? How do you avoid them? Also, having to use stream. Thanks a lot for doing this. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be streaming for the next week because I'm going to be heading up to my parents for Christmas, and probably not going to stream off of my work, off of a laptop, off of wireless. Just not going to be a thing. So that's not going to go on. When I come back around the new year, I'll be streaming again, of course, and happy to entertain you guys. But most common mistakes from low elo players, honestly, last hitting. Here's a test for you guys. So load up a game against bots, just like load up just custom game, add 2 bots in your team, add 3 bots in the enemy team. Try just for last hit. Don't harass the enemy champion. Don't kill that Soraka bot in mid. Just last hit with your favorite champion. Basically, perfect minion kills is 100 minions at 10 minutes. That counts, the 1 minute 30 for minions to spawn, for them to walk to the lanes, and every third wave is a cannon minion. 100 minions will have gotten in front of you at 10 minutes into the game. So, and that's really, what's really convenient is, one, it's very easy to remember, 100 at 10 minutes, and also, it's a very convenient percentage, gauge, because here's 100, so whatever you actually got is your percentage of last hitting rate. So just do that. Just, do it once a day, do it whenever, just look at that and realize, without getting harassed at all, with no interference whatsoever, how many last hits are you missing? Now, someone's going to fight you, there might be a jungle gank, all the things going on. This is very, very relevant. If you're missing out on gold that you should get for free, you're going to miss out on even more gold when you have a real opponent. And you're going to basically be nerfing yourself. So I think that last hitting is the number one thing. It's very important. And the second thing that I see a lot of novice players do poorly is not gauge battles properly. And this is basically like saying, you know, look, and this is how you see these phenomenal moves from pro players, where the like, you know, like the double lift 1v2. I had the escape earlier where like I got the slow on Udyr and then ran away from Gangplank. I was watching Hotshot's stream yesterday, and like he was fighting a Gangplank as like Swain, and there was a like an Udyr coming to gank. And it was Udyr with red, like he was gonna get permaslowed and pretty much die. But what he did was he kind of jumped into the brush, and then then before Udyr came into range, he basically just jumped Gangplank and just killed Gangplank. And then Udyr was like, screw that, turned around and ran away. Now it's possible that like if this fight were going on and Udyr jumped Hotshot and then Gangplank came in afterwards, maybe Hotshot could have still killed, maybe he would have still killed that Gangplank. Or he would have, you know, Gangplank would have played from farther range or something, I don't know. But Udyr's disruption probably would have been enough to stop him. But he knew, okay, I know how much time I have, and I know that I'm screwed if I don't push him away and make it a 1v1, so I'm going to go push him away. And then he didn't even use his W. I think what happened, like he used like QE, Ignite, killed Gangplank. Then he started running from Udyr, landed Never Move, and then flashed away. And so he never took a shot because he was afraid of getting like, you know, locked up by the Udyr. And so he sort of knew what was going to happen in that situation, saved the W, Never Move, and then used it as an escape tool. And so he came out of a 1v2 with a kill. And it's like he knew how these two fights in a row would play out. He knew he needed W to get away from Udyr, and he knew he could kill the Gangplank with QE Ignite. And he was like, okay, look, my first instinct is run. Hold on. I can do this properly. That's important every single time. And you just sort of learn that the more and more you play, what kind of fights you can take, what kind of stuff's going on. For example, one thing to learn is Vayne will if you have equal gold, Vayne will 1v1 you almost no matter who you are. Well, I shouldn't say no matter who you are. She will 1v1 a Caitlyn. Do not duel Vayne as Caitlyn. You will lose. Just don't take that fight. If you're ahead of her, sure, but you're probably not going to stay ahead of her. She'll pop ult, and then her DPS is just higher than yours. She'll cloak between attack animations. Like, you'll just get dominated. What role do you like to play the most? Honestly, I actually like all the roles. I guess I like mages the most because I like blowing up people at once, just like gone. Like that Gragas game was really fun. Where I'm just like, people are dying everywhere, yeah. But you know, I play champions that I like in all of these roles, so like, I'm happy playing anything. As support, I just play Blitzcrank because Blitzcrank is awesome. I don't really play Soraka or Sona much. I have a winning record with Blitzcrank, so I can't really complain. But it's just, you know, he fits the role, and he's really fun. But I would say mage, I guess. Yeah. I think Gangplank's very strong solo top. He's a very, very strong champion. He brings a lot of team utility. He's very hard to kill. Good damage. So the rationale behind crit and dodge is that critical strike pretty much only ever gets into very consistent damage numbers. Like if you have 50% crit, like you're really not RNGing that hard. You theoretically can get really lucky there, but now of course crit is RNG. Like I will give you that right now. It is less bad. And then so let me step back and say about three things. So number one, design, at least specifically game design, is an optimization. It is saying, here's some good, here's some bad. How do I maximize the good and lower the bad? So for example, things like critical strikes feel awesome. They feel really good. Now, sometimes they feel really terrible to fight against. I will give you that. If you get random lucked out by Gangplank, it sucks really hard. I'll give you that. Now, in the general gameplay sense, critting is really fun. You feel awesome. Generally speaking, you get enough of it that it's not like a 1 in 20 chance, and so players don't feel slighted. What's up? Am I too loud, or are you good? Okay. Just talking to bros. Yeah. Sup? Sorry? What do you mean? No, I'm on stream. Yeah. Yeah. I was playing like half an hour ago. Yeah. Alright. Bye. So, so the rationale is, so the other rationale is, crit, generally speaking, gets into values that are not that random. I mean, they're clearly random, but they're not gimmicky. That you're usually getting, like, 30% crit. Like Tryndamere, for example. There's a reason that we made his full fury % crit and not crit damage. Because now you could run around as full fury Trynd and have 35% crit. And then you've got 4 from mastery, you're probably going to get a Phantom Dancer, you're like 70% crit. Like, that's not lucky if he crits you. That's like, he's probably going to crit me. I'm aware of this. Okay. Right? He's like the guy who relies on crit, and he gets a bunch of it. Right? Even from level 1, you build up Fury Bar, 35% crit. Like, that's enough where you're like, okay, yeah, he might double crit me in a row, that would kind of hurt, but like, he's critting off of like 60 damage. Not the end of the world. And again, it's high enough values that it's reliable. It's a reliable amount of crit. Now, the 4% crit mastery, that's, you know, you could argue that it should be changed for another mastery. That crit chance should not be a mastery because now everyone has 4% chance of crit at level 1 instead of investing in it. And that's a fair point. And it's something that we probably should consider and consider, you know, changing it to something like, you know, pick a random AD stat, AD per level, I don't know. Or like allowing Havoc to have 1 more point and Armor Van to have 1 more point. You know, like just pushing those points so that you can still do 21 offense as a physical damage dealer. And that's a fair point, you could say that. But for the rest of it, realistically, you're buying crit as a standard just damage multiplier, and you're getting it in values that are pretty reliable. You know, this is not, I have 8% from runes plus nimbleness, so I'm at 9%. Might randomly dodge you. You have no idea. It's, you know, and it's really unreliable. But like, the smallest crit item you can get is 8%, and that's for 400 gold, and that builds into things that give you like 35. So, I mean, there are still going to be the lucky cases, but like, crit feels awesome. It's just a reliable damage stat. It gives a lot more itemization choices. It has a lot of cool things. Lets you have cool things like Tryndamere's, you know, E refreshes on critical strikes, and you know, you can then be a crit damage guy, and you know, there's cool things you can do. And as long as we can mitigate the whole like this has to get, you know, 4%ed, then I think we're in a good place. And I think that's really the rationale. And so, you know, when we, you know, are removing dodge, we have to do things like, you know, refund a lot of IP for dodge runes, and you know, remake Jax and you know, look at Udyr and Sivir and all those, and you know, they get tweaks. We have a lot of champions that rely on crit. I don't really see crit going away from League because I think, you know, for those reasons before, that I think it's not that toxic of a stat. I think we should do something to mitigate the whole, you know, get crushed by 4% crit, double proc, ruffle, I'm gangplank. But outside of that, I think it's fine. My top 3 champions in terms of performance or favorite? Wow, this is 40 minutes ago. I've been talking for a while. Favorites are probably Corki, Mordekaiser, Orianna. There's a lot of other guys in there too. I mean, like Trynd's really fun. Riven's really fun. Graves, Vayne. I mean, there's a lot of champions that are really fun, but Skarner as well. There's a lot that are up there that I just really enjoy. But that's probably my top 3. I don't actually think Xin Zhao's late game is bad. I think his scaling is actually quite strong. He doesn't have any obvious AD ratios, but he actually, like, he does percentage of your current health, which scales always. He has free attack speed and an attack reset, and a dash. And again, his attack speed scales the rest of his kit, so you really just kind of get in these cases where you do a lot of damage. I think he's actually pretty good. Alright, let's take one more. Let's check EUNE again. Last page. So spell crits are, I think, different from AD crits. So here's a couple things about AD crits versus spell crits. So a basic spell will deal about 300 damage without AP, or you know, like 240 to 300 in most cases. Critting that means 600 damage, which is in the level of one-shotting someone. With an attack damage champion, one, you're not bursting auto attacks. You are attack, 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 attack. So let's look at all these cases, right? So let's say everyone's level 6, right? If I'm Annie and I'm level 6, I can almost full burst someone. If I'm Annie and level 6 and I crit Tibbers, I full burst someone. And you have no way of responding to that. If I am Graves and I'm attacking you, I'm doing maybe 100, 120 damage a hit. Ow, 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 ow. It hurts, right? If I crit you, it's like, ow! Okay, but I can run away when I realize I'm losing. Now, of course, he can hit you, crit you when you're at 150 and win, but, like, you were already down to 150. Like, clearly this guy is doing some damage to you. There was a point at which you could react. So you're not bursting crits as an AD champion. Again, there's the Gangplank lol parlay auto attack from the spotlight. Yeah, it was ridiculous. That's very, very rare, but yeah, okay, you know that exists. But as far as like, excuse me, hold on. But as far as spells go, spells also get to the point where like Veigar ult can hit for like 1200. Imagine that critting you. Yeah, that gets really, really scary. So that can be very, very problematic. The other thing to think about, and that's basically the reason, right, is that, critting a burst spell is different from critting an auto attack, because the auto attack only gets so high. You can realistically only ever really crit for like 500, which is a lot, but like, that's like Infinity Edge Bloodthirster and then critting a guy. At that point, Disintegrate just does that every time. So like, you're not really, getting in these ridiculous situations, I think, so much. So that's kind of why, honestly. Now, as far as looking at endgame, AD carries vastly outdamaged AP carries, that's two things. One, AD carries auto-farm with basic attacks, whereas AP carries usually either last hit or sometimes they'll AoE minion waves, but like, an AD champion honestly just like throws more auto attacks out there. They do more to jungle monsters, they do more to things like Baron. I mean, realistically the reason you pick an AD carry is because their persistent damage output is higher. And they have crit as a way to multiply that further to keep up with, armor and anything else like that. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see their total damage graph to go above. But, burst does matter, of course, and I would not want to play a game without a mage or some kind of burst champion on my team because it's just very valuable to have to catch someone out, remove a highly threatening target from a fight early. And I totally said I was going to wrap, but like now I don't even feel like it because I'm like really tired. Nah, I'll do it. Let me get one more and then. What is that new haircut? What? Creating a new champion takes a very, very long time. Months. The process is pretty long. So, yeah. So I have like a random like freaking something sticking up in my head, but whatever. I don't know if we're gonna do RP price reductions. I don't know if we've done that before, whatever. I don't really know. I could not tell you that at all. We have a support in the works. Wow, twice in a row. Oh, same guy. Why would you repeat that? We actually interface with pros a fair amount. We talk with pros a lot. We watch a lot of tournament matches. And we have just a very good pulse in the game as well. Pretty much everyone in live design is exceptionally competent. We have a lot of guys who are 2,000 plus elo. I get to help out a little bit, and I hit 1900, 2000 last season. I'm on my way back up right now. I'm 1750, which is, pretty good, but obviously not pro level. But like we have very good knowledge of pro level play and like what's exceptionally strong and what's dominating. I was playing on NA. That's not a question I can answer. If we were, I wouldn't tell you. And if we aren't, I wouldn't either confirm or deny. So this is not a question I will ever answer. I saw a post saying, hey, it'd be really fun, a new map while we're making Dominion, and I was like, would be really fun if we made a new map, wouldn't it? So, stuff. That's a possibility. The problem is, what do you do when it's like 13% and that doesn't really lend itself well? But realistically, yeah, there's ways to make like crit, probably work appropriately. It could be something as simple as like I have 30% crit at 13, at 13, at 13, at 13, 100. Now the problem with also a reliable system though is you have to rebalance it around the fact that you can abuse it. So like Master Yi's passive, it used to be like, it was interesting actually. Shirelli did Master Yi sort of mini remake a while ago, and the double strike I think was like 10 or 12% chance to just double strike. But because it was percent chance, you had the ability to burst someone for 4 hits that could also crit. So you could just one-shot someone out of nowhere if you got really lucky. Then it was made every 7th attack as a double strike, which, if you do the math, is more like 14%. He said, I can buff it because I know it won't RNG someone and just destroy someone's face. And then they get the gameplay of choosing to do his double strike, and that's fine. That's now part of what Master Yi does, and he has this double strike. Okay. Now, if you make crit primable, right? If you say that every X hit, you have the situation where you've got to sort of rebalance the stat a little bit. So certainly, in the average case, you're fine. But so I'm Graves. I have 4% crit from masteries. Attack a few times. Dash up to you, auto attack Q. I just have 400 damage to you because I primed a crit and then just showed up and bursted you. And that's suddenly a use case that just showed up that this champion now has. And that you have to, that has far-reaching balance implications. That means Master Yi can do it. It means Trynd actually just kind of reliably crits anyway, but like, Riven can already kind of jump at you and do a lot of really crazy things. Jax can do the same thing. Jax honestly is still not bad. And he's already got really good burst. He can burst you even more. Like, there's weird things that you're allowed to do if you do that. And that can be very scary. And it's a very messy change that I'm not saying is necessarily a bad idea, and it may be worth the work to do. But just sort of realize that it creates a lot of new gameplay that, may be good, maybe is bad. I'm not really going to pass judgment. I just want to inform you that, that exists. So, just be warned. How is Jax remake after the dodge removal? Actually really cool. I've played it. It'll be spotlighted before it comes out. It'll be awesome. It's actually pretty sweet. They did some cool things with them. So you can also jungle much better in the new remake. So that's actually really important. All right, one more, and then I'm just gonna freaking wrap and then go to sleep because I'm super tired. It's like 3 now. It is, yeah, it's 3. So I kept my word at till 3. What runes and masters I should buy for Ryze? There's a couple of thoughts with it. So you can like stack flat mana like everywhere. That'll give you really strong Qs at early levels. You can also consider doing armor and magic resist yellow and blue, and maybe like move speed quints, and just relying on items to get your mana up. Because if you do like if you do mana everywhere, you're full offense, but you're very, very squishy until you finish like Frozen Heart Banshee's Veil. But if you go like armor MR everything, then by going Tier 1 Catalyst, you're actually quite durable. Your just level 1 is not as strong, and you can kind of consider what you might want to do there. It's just, it's up to you. I'm always an offense type guy, so I just be like flat mana, blues and quints, magic pound reds, Armor, probably not MP5, you don't need it, but, you know, you could even do gold Britannials if you wanted, but health might be a good option there on yellow non-seals. For masteries, I think you actually want to probably do 9021. Get that magic pen, and then just get, you know, strength of spirit, cooldown reduction, all that fun stuff. But the utility tree is really good for Ryze. Spell Vamp's super good on him. You know, obviously the bonus mana is just mandatory. I'd actually probably do the move speed instead of the MP5, just because you're going to have enough mana to spare, it won't matter. And move speed's actually really good on him. Might not be the best way to do it, but it's a thought. You'd also go like 951-0 and just get kind of tanky, because, you know, you are going to be kind of tanky as that champion. Alright, so I'm tired, but let's do it. So I went to high school with a guy who goes by the alias Cannon with a K, and he has released 2 free to download albums, and actually I kind of like his stuff. He basically just like lifts beats that like other rappers have like used, but then he, you know, it's his own original words and all that. So I find them to be interesting songs, and they actually have messages that's not just like, I'm partying and drinking, and, you know, there's enough of those on the radio and all that. So I'm going to perform. So yes, by the way, whip out your fraps and audio recordings. These are going to be on YouTube tomorrow. I'm fine with that. I'm sure I'm really bad, but let's do it. I'm so tired. Okay, so this one is actually written in high school, actually, and it's called Timeline. And I'm actually really going to do this. All right. Let me see. So it's like, let me think of what the not that fast. Okay. So. Back in time, I used to dream about when I'd be stacking dimes, oblivious to the thought that other people were cracking nines. Used to be macronyms until curfew hit, then y'all sit back and try to memorize that verse you spit. Well, we were in the zone alone, there's not a care in the world, but now the money, guns, and drugs are all impairing the world. Stare at the world, think about these things that I've seen, these people killing, pulling bullets cause they fiend for the green. My purple therapy took care of me cause rapping was fun, but now you gotta watch it back unless you packing a gun. Gotta have patience in this television generation, cause nowadays been trying to rehabilitate the nation. It's useless when people getting killed over their music. We give them life, but all we do is think how to abuse it. That's what it is, just the worldly ways. That's a little stuff from the world, but insecurity stays. That was way too fast. I have to slow that one down. With the hook goes, wait, I forgot it. Security stays. Focus on the past, the present and future, flowing through time with no sense of direction, delivering solutions, exploring through any weather, watching segments of a timeline come together, slowly forming a vision of life. All positions in sight, time enlightens the dying mind. Piece of puzzle together, and I'm watching the timeline from the present to the future and rewind to the past. Time's changed and life that we finally grasp. Still going too fast because I'm stuttering over the words. This is terrible. Don't use this one. Use the one afterwards because I'm screwing this one up a lot. Or edit the heck out of this. Now we live in a time where it's forbidden to use the mind. Sculpture by an architect's given design, I rhythm and rhyme, trying to focus on the rhythms I write, express the deepest feelings I keep hidden inside. But now we try to fight against the people that be living the lie. Problems arise, watching the youth give up and die. We're given 2 eyes, but life, we're living it blind. Now suddenly all our memories are slipping into time. We trip and we climb, never running cycle to pave the path. Freedom taken away, I'm feeling like caged rats. We stay trapped and still force a let our rage blast through the lines. We're at the only way to make an impact. Days pass, wondering how long will this phase last. That gaze past the obvious until the brain's cracks, exploring the mind and watching as my time plays back. Continue to search for knowledge as my lines fade black. Focus on the past, the present and future, flowing through time with no sense of direction, delivering solutions, exploring through any weather. Watching segments of a timeline come together, slowly forming a vision of life. All positions in sight, time enlightens the dying mind. Piece of puzzle together, watching the timeline from the present to the future and rewind to the past. Now your time's changed, life lessons we finally grasp. Now as I look into my future, see change from what I'm used to, different beat that we move to think about what'll happen to me. Cause tragedy brings more pain than pleasure. Think as a brain can measure what's more important than having a G. I travel and see my mastery continue to build, and I'm thrilled to see myself with a wife and 3 kids. It's crazy to step outside and see the life that we live, the strife that we hit, the wrongs and all the right that we did. But now the daily youth are gone fit at a sight, now we beg. Take some long squints and try to realize what the song hints. Before we throw our lives away, we need to use our common sense instead of leaving wrong unanswered homage and for dominance. Now I move on to the stage, expressing myself. Never living life on the wrong page, the only thing constant is change. Future growing closer every day, so I try to do something to improve the world in every way. Dude, I'm rushing on those so fast. You can't even understand the words. And Oh man, I'm gonna just go ahead and look at the comments for how bad that just was. Hold on, I just need to see. I just need to see people going. Yep, there's the. I'm gonna put this on YouTube. And he lost 400 viewers. Not at all. Wow, I'm in the 3600. Yep. All right. All right. This one is called Heartless. This is actually more recent. It's from like a year ago or so. Hopefully I won't rush this time. Okay. About like this. Okay. They say that home was where the heart is, but he was heartless, ready and willing to kill if it covered up the darkness. Throughout his hardships he harvested the market, but starved if he couldn't throw refrigerated apartments. And from the start it lived in his apartment, regrets from the days when mama called him a smart kid. Outside of marksman made all the insight he was ripped apart with, numerous scars that he thought had far since passed. He'd done all his sorrows at the bar's hip, but he would never drink, he was simply content watching. One after another they all took large sips while he contemplated why his life wasn't honest. When he realized he was a product of all this and almost more afraid to give decisions a small glimpse, he had potential, decided he'd never farm it, to play the hand he was dealt or leave with all the cards ripped. Blind in the eyes of the mind of the man from the time it began to the sign of the end, be resigned from the mind left to fight him again when the right thing to win's living life to the end. Blind in the eyes of the mind of the man from the time it began to the sign of the end, be resigned from the mind left to fight him again when the right thing to win's living life to the end. Yo, they say you made your bed and now you lie in it. He's tried sinning, driven to the edge without his mind with him. He'll find prison if only he kept his eyes hidden, waiting for another day to hope to see the sky risen. But he was caught up with some bad men and fine women, looking up to people, deciding to take his time with them. Stuck out in the crowd, but hoping that one size fit him, walked away from family, releasing all ties with them. Feeling alone, but he learned to hide symptoms from fights within, lasting a lot longer than 9 innings. Convinced himself that it was just his brain trying to trick him, stood up for the people, bringing him down. This guy's tripping. He said he's fine. He said he finds that these guys wouldn't confide in them. Kids will find witches and drop them off as the light switches. He was lucky enough to leave with his life with him, kept his hat low now, no one better to mind business. And then the hook repeats. Blind in the eyes of the mind of the man from the time it began to the sign of the end, be resigned from the mind left to fight him again when the right thing to win's live in life till the end. Blind in the eyes of the mind of the man from the time it began to the sign of the end, be resigned from the mind left to fight him again when the right thing to win's live in life to the end. And this instrumental break, which I'll skip because no instruments. Yeah, they say that home is where the heart is, but where will the man live if he's heartless? He traveled through life to leave his mark quick, but something was missing in his apartment. See, he didn't believe that he was a smart kid, holding regrets enough to break a tall bridge, watch his whole life pass in a small glimpse, and now he was ready to take what he wanted. Even if his ideas seemed far-fetched, he would keep himself away from harm's nest. He traveled to lands he'd never gone yet, to find a place where his mind could finally get some calm rest, and he finally stood in awe. A new life for him to open a start. Because if it's home that you're looking for, you can always build a home for your heart. You can always build a home for your heart, guys. You can always build a home for your heart. Yes, that's the message of that one. This chair squeaks a lot. I am not a good rapper. You're freaking... Oh, you guys are awesome. Alright. Also, so, I'm going to perform a couple more just because it's enjoyable. At this point, freaking if you didn't like it, you're already gone. This is the first. This is actually I think my favorite verse from Eminem. It's the opening verse to freaking. Okay, I'm gonna stop leaning backwards. Oh shoot, I'm rolling over my blanket. Hold on, let me not screw up my blanket because this blanket's too awesome to get screwed up. All right, whatever. Ditch the blanket. All right. I'm just like lean forward a little bit so I don't screw up the blanket. This is the opening verse to, okay, holy crap, come on, chair. Alright. So this is the opening verse to Till I Collapse by Eminem. Hopefully I'll get it right. Yeah. Till I collapse, I'm spilling these raps long as you feel them. Till the day that I drop, you'll never say that I'm not killing them. Cause when I am not, then I'ma stop penning them. And I am not hip-hop, and I'm just not Eminem. Subliminal thoughts when I'ma stop sending them. Women are caught in webs, spinning in hawk venom. Adrenaline shots of penicillin could not get the illin to stop. Amoxicillin's just not real enough. The criminal cop killing hip-hop filling a million to swat. Millions of swap to pock, millions of pock listeners. You're coming with me, fear it or not. You're gonna fear it like I showed you the spirit of God lives in us. You hear it a lot, lyrics a shock. Is it a miracle or am I just product of pop fizzing up? For shizzle my whistle, this is the plot, listen up. You bizzles forgot, Sizzle does not give a care. I think I missed some lines in there. Maybe I didn't, I don't remember. Care was not the actual word, it rhymed with, listen up. Sizzle does not give a care. Yeah, that's the word. At this point I'm out of things to do. I don't think I have a lot more memorized. Actually, no. Let's do, so, I'll get made fun of for this. I like Linkin Park. Sorry, I liked the first 3 albums Linkin Park did, then they stopped making albums that I liked. But their second album, if you want to call it that, is called Reanimation, and it was basically remixes of all of Hybrid Theory with other people on the tracks as well. Actually, I'm just going to look it up because I'm going to lose the words otherwise, so... Let me just look at the lyrics real quick because I'm going to screw it up anyway. So one of the songs is Forgotten, but... yeah, so Forgotten from Linkin Park, but sort of reworded. I should know the words, but I looked it up just in case. So let's do this. We're stuck in a place so dark you can hardly see the matter of matter that splits with the words I breathe. And as the rain drips acidic questions around me, I'll block at the sight of the powers that be and duck away into the darkness. Time's up, I wind up in a rusted world. What did I shut so tight that it blurs into the world of pretend? And the eyes ease open and it's dark again. From the top to the bottom, bottom to top, I stop at the core. I forgot in the middle of my thoughts, taken far from my safety. The picture's there. The memory won't escape me, but why should I care? Listen to the sound, dizzy from the ups and downs and nauseated by the polluted rot that's all around. Watching the wheels of cars that pass, I look past at the last of the light and the long shadows it casts. A window grows, captures the eye and cries out a yellow light as it passes me by. And a young shadowy figure sits in front of a box inside a building, a rock with antennas on top now. Nothing can stop in this land of the pain. The saying, lose not, knowing they were part of the game. And while the insides change, the box stays the same. And the figure inside can bear anybody's name. The memories I keep are from a time like them. I put them on paper so I can come back to them. Someday I'm hoping to close my eyes and pretend that this crumpled up paper can be perfect again. From the top to the bottom, at the core I forgot, taken far from my safety. The memory won't escape me. I'm here at this podium talking. The ceremonial offerings dedicated to urban dysfunctional offspring. What's happening? City governments that eternally nap and trapped in gritty covenants causing urban collapse and folds. They scar souls with dark holes. Good morning, your car stole. Some hearts be blacker than charcoal. For real. This society's deprivation depends not on our differences, but the separation within. No preparation is made. Limited aid, no minimum wage. We live in the tenement cage where rent isn't paid. Tragedy within a parade. The darkness overspreads like a permanent plague. I'm the forgotten. Yeah. There's that one. Let's see, what other ones do I... Oh, well, I think we all have to do Lose Yourself, to be fair. Type lyrics. I know it pretty well, but gotta look up them lyrics, man. I'm gonna refresh again about how much I'm getting made fun of now. This is gonna be great. There's another page of comments. This is too entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. You sound like my dog after his stomach disease. Wow. And then everyone's like, go to sleep. You guys think I'm amazing, don't you? Whatever, I'm having fun. Epic rap battles of history, Phreak versus Teemo. It's gonna be new login screen music. Oh, man. Alright. So, Lose Yourself by Eminem. Everyone knows it. Well, not everyone, but... His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on a sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting what he wrote down, the whole crowd grows so loud. He opens his mouth, but the words won't come out. He's choking, how everybody's joking, now the clock's run out. Time's up, over, blow, snap, back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity, oh, there goes gravity, choke. He's so mad, but he won't give up that easy, no. He won't have it, he knows his hose back to his ropes. It won't matter, he's dope, he knows that, but he's broke. He's so stagnant, he knows when he goes back to this mobile home, that's when it's back to the lab again, yo. This whole rapidity, he better go capture this moment and hope it don't pass him. I like sped up at the end there for no reason. You better lose yourself in the music the moment you own it. You better never let it go. You only get one shot, do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. You better. The soul's escaping through the hole that is gaping. This world is mine for the taking. Make me king as we move toward a new world order. The normal life is boring, but superstardom's close to postmortem. It only grows harder, only grows hotter. He blows, it's all low, the hose is all on him. Coast to coast shows he's known as a globetrotter. Lonely roads godly knows he's grown farther from home. He's no father. He goes home and barely knows his own daughter, but you hold your nose, cause here goes the cold water. These hoes don't want him no mo, he's cold product. He moved on to the next schmo who flows, he knows dove and sold nada. The soul to soap opera that unfolds, I suppose its old partner. Wow, I screwed that one up really hard. He knows dove and sold nada, so the soap opera is told and unfolds, I suppose its old partner, but the beat goes on. Ba-da-dum-da-dum, you better lose yourself in the music the moment. Okay, I'm failing. No more gains, I'ma change what you call rage. Hear this MFing roof off like two dogs caged. I was playing in the beginning, the mood all changed. I've been chewed up and spit out and booed off stage, but I kept rhyming and stepped right into the next cipher. Best believe somebody's paying the Pied Piper. All this pain inside amplified by the fact that I can't get by with my 9 to 5 and I can't provide the right type of life for my family, cause man, these goddamn food stamps to buy diapers. And it's no movie, there's no Mackay Pfeiffer. This is my life and these times are so hard, and it's getting even harder. Try to feed and water my seed plus teeter-totter caught up between being a father and a pre-Madonna baby mama. Drama's gotten too much for me to want to stay in one spot. Another day of monotony's got me to the point I'm like a snail. I've got to formulate a plot or end up in jail. A shot success ain't my only MF an option. Failure's not. Mama love you, but this trailer's got to go. I cannot grow old in Salem's lots. So here I go with my shot. Feet fail me not. It's maybe the only opportunity that I got. You better lose yourself, man. This is terrible. In the vein of not doing more Eminem, there's actually a couple songs that I really like that I want to cover. What's it? LP. It's called something about. Yeah, it's like The Uncomfortable Truth or something. The Overly Dramatic Truth. That's the one. The Overly Dramatic Truth by LP. So LP, by the way, is awesome. He is, I guess, more a producer now than a rapper himself, but he did, I think, 2 albums himself, and this is off of one of them. This is off of I'll Sleep When You're Dead, and it's called The Overly Dramatic Truth. It's a really awesome song. So go like this. I became for you what you had asked, telepath. You're too young to ask out loud. I'm too old and I know that. I can talk like you've not heard. I know weapons, you think words. I exposed you to these terms. You still chose to roll unheard. That could work, but not so fast. You're so open, I'm so crass. I'm too weak to hold that back. You still think intrigue will last. Can't imagine of my past. I just can't explain all that. I just wish I could trade your place. So romantic, full of faith. I must spare you, I must learn. I refuse to be your first. First to put you in your place. First to make you speed your pace. I'm a man now, good or bad. You're a girl still, good for you. Don't think this don't make me sad. This is something I must do. Keep your on time, leave me be. Trying to spare you, trying to be. God melodic, man on fire. Coward all gone, arm desire. You raw dog, it's my fault. Screw you raw dog, I can't stop. Shoulda listened, shoulda left. I can't stop unless you dead. It's so simple, open head. I will knit my savage thread. Help me help you, walk away. Leave this unamazing grace. You don't know from pure disgrace. You still think I'm here to save. I'm not even really here. I can't give what I can't take. What a ride, what a slide under the door, what a score. You think I'm a genius? I know I'm a whore. What a time, what a climate for our lives, what's in store. You see live forever. All I see is war. I will pull your hair back, you on the floor. Pour myself into the act, pour myself, boo-hoo, I'm bad. Cause I know that these moments end, but telling you the truth is sad. You deserve the ignorance and bliss that I still wish I had. Don't you let me keep you here, don't ignore my greatest fear. I need you to not need me, you need not believe, just flee. I will put myself inside you, find some way to run and hide you. I can't be responsible, do as I say, not as I do. Keep your on time, leave me be, trying to spare you, trying to be. God melodic, man on fire, coward law gone, all desires. You raw out, it's my fault. You raw dog, I can't stop. Shoulda listened, shoulda left. I can't stop unless you're dead. It's so simple, open head. I will knit my savage thread. Help me help you walk away, leave this unamazing grace. You don't know from pure disgrace, you still think I'm here to save. I'm not even really here, I can't give what I can't take. This is not my ego talking, I'm no perfect draw, and I do love the way you lay there. I do like the way we talk. Maybe I'm just condescending, maybe this thing isn't wrong. Maybe you should lay right there, put your hands up in the air. Keep your arms on, leave me be. Trying to spare you, trying to be God melodic, man on fire, coward long gone, all desire. Raw dog, it's your fault. Raw dog, I can't stop. Shoulda listened, shoulda left. I can't stop unless you're dead. It's so simple, open head. I will knit my savage thread. Help me help you, walk away, leave this unamazing grace. You don't know from pure disgrace, you still think I'm here to save. I'm not even really here, I can't give what I can't take. And he just sort of fades out saying, you still think I'm here to save? You still think I'm here to save? You still think I'm... And it just kind of goes down and down. But I really, really like that song. I'm trying to think of this other LP song that I really like, because I like LP as an artist. Let me look up on Wikipedia, actually, what other tracks he's done. I have the album, but I just don't remember the tracks offhand. LP... Yeah, he hasn't done anything since 2007. Poisonville Kids No Wins is actually pretty fun. I like that one. Sorry, I just knocked my mic off the desk there. Sorry about that. Lyrics. I think this is a decent one. Oh, this one's actually difficult. This is really complicated. Hopefully I do it justice. It's actually a very difficult one. When a live wire lights a little metal rail right, when a marvel of engineering steer me straight into the plate, right before the bodega's open, after the peak of night, before the plate is delivered, I sat on the corner and sparked a light, the same corner I watched with his... No, dude, I don't know that... Never mind, I'm not even going to try. This one's too difficult for me. I don't know it in the first place that well. Let's do... Run the Numbers. Run the Numbers is a good song. Run the Numbers, LP lyrics. Let's do this. This one's fun. Oh, this one's difficult too. It's actually like it's just really fast. All right, hopefully I get it right. Is this? No, okay. Broken and bleeding, rider dash of Brook. Oh, of the book, my favorite. Half robotic, monkey, born a viral agent. Venom tarantula, know to handle the phaser, drunken. Script of the city park benches. No, never mind. This is another one that's just like, it's just 16 notes all day and I don't know it that well memorized. So I'm like telling you I'm going to do songs and don't do them. Who do I want to... I'm like blanking on artists I want to cover. I could do Rage. I could do like Wake Up. Wake Up's a good song. That is a bright... Oh, wow, it actually showed as green. I just want to show you guys something real quick. So here's the lyrics. They actually put on "Come on" and "Ugh" as the lyrics. I'm amazed at that. I think that's great. But this is another thing that I've memorized, so I can actually cover it. Freaking chairback, stop squeaking, I hate you. Alright. Come on! Although you try to discredit, you still never read it. The needle all threaded, radically poetic, standing with the fury that they had in '66. And Lucky Devil, I'm mad, still in deep in the systems. Hoover, he was a body remover. I'll give you a dose, but it can never come close to the rage built up inside of me. Fist in the air, we're in the land of hypocrisy. Movements come and movements go. Leaders speak, movements cease when the heads are flown. Cause all these punks got bullets in their heads. Departments of police, the judges, the feds. Networks at work, keeping people calm. You know they went after King when he spoke out on Vietnam. He turned the power to the have-nots. And then came the shot. Yeah! And then the chorus goes, and it's Tom Morello playing on the guitar. Dude's awesome. Yeah, back in this. With poetry in my mind I flex, flip like Wilson, vocals never lacking that finesse. What do I got to do to wake you up, to shake you up, to break the structure up? Cause blood still flows in the gutter. I'm like taking photos, mad boy kicks open the shutter. Set the groove, the stick and move like I was Cassius. Rip the stutter, step the bomb that left upon the fascists. Yeah, with several federal men who pulled schemes on the dream and put it to an end. You better beware the retribution with mind war, 2020 visions and murals with metaphors. Networks at work keeping people calm. You know they murdered X and tried to blame it on Islam. He turned the power to the have-nots. And then came the shot. And that's actually pretty much it. And it just kind of repeats. I think I heard a shot, and then he may be royal contender for this position should he abandon his supposed obedience to the white liberal doctrine of violence and embrace it. Yeah. Flyentology is pretty fun. I know Flyentology he sings, so I can't cover that one. I can't sing at all. Maybe Poison. No, wait, Poison Book is really hard. Maybe Tasmanian Pain Coaster is actually decent. Let me look. I actually know the first words to that, so that'll help a little bit. Hopefully I can do this one because it's really cool. I saw this kid walking down the street. I was like, wait. Bumped into this kid I knew. He offered to walk strange. I ignored the blood on his face, on his laces. The cat could say face. The dunks and the gaze stayed in an off-gray haze, and lump in his pocket to talk to the ox that he clutched safe. So I saluted him there, waiting for the A. Trapped in an empty platform without the option to escape, gave him the standard. Yo, what up, man? How you landed? And the hypnotized response with no surprise, I maintain. Yeah, we all do. That's the standardized refrain, but on some really real, man. Good to see you. Really, what the dealy do? Oops, F, screw the pooch, that's too much. Knew the truth. On the crane now, no caboose. In his brain now, no recluse. 80 blocks to up-down spot. Destination vocal goose. Metro card like you get what you pay for, stupid. No excuse. He pulled his hoodie off his cabbage, rugged practical, and began to fancy the words that mistakenly jostled loose. The stogie he brazenly lit where he sit looked legit, but when the flame touched on the tip, I could smell it of another knit. He leaned his head back and inhaled the Noopy dip and said the whole design got my mind crying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. This is the sound of what you don't know killing you. This is the sound of what you don't believe still true. This is the sound of what you don't want still in you. TPC, mother effer copper feel it too. The whole design got my mind crying. If I'm lying, I'm dying. Dying and flying to the same line. No disguise, guy, all bent up. To the sky's high in coincidence. I'm tied, blind, insignificant. The ground functioned a munch. And the dreaded 710 split again. The medic made it out to be. Epidemic shaded. Now for me. Evidence of pressure rebounding. Residential shroud. Kings County. Brotherhood of the woken wounded. Wounded Working City unit. Taking out the trash and strap it in. Let's get it moving, stupid. Many men make moves more useless. Use abuse, quick loses, useless. You speak the truth and you leave toothless. Two-fisted, furiously ruthless justice for my very own amusement with no regard for the conclusion. I swagger with rats tapping a glass with the Gov Lab. Pass me the gloves, mask, and the glass of the cheapest liquor you have. In the back of the Tasmanian path insane again, laughing, cackling at the randomness of the city and all its facts. The dark of interrogation agents skipping class and a last in the flash of a lip on. Flash on my tiptoes, walking on cracked glass. Gas blast and whiz by fast, just gotta hold that. In other words, I'm trash. Glad you asked. I screwed up that entire verse. I got the first one. I completely lost the second. That was fun though. It's really intricate though. Like that's why I like LPs. It's so intricate. Like it keeps going, and he's actually saying things. You have to like listen to it 4 times to hear what he's saying. It's awesome. Actually, Drive I can do. Drive's not hard. So let's do Drive LP lyrics. Drive's kind of funny. It's full of puns. And and now I'm done 2,600 viewers. People are like, no, I'm done. I'm surprised there's still 2,000 of you though. Come on, Ma, can I borrow the keys, please? My generation is carpooling with doom and disease. Buckle up, skipper, it's the new American asterisk. You're riding shoddy with Jesus of NASCAR with. At the end of the day, we all sitting on 24s, 365 horses, no horse, with nothing but a learner's permit. Delinquents on the Autobahn popping on airbags off the worthless. I'm not depressed, man, I'm just a freaking New Yorker who knows that sitting in traffic with these bastards is torture. Okay, yeah. I'll be in a jalopy with a mommy getting a headrest, and the howl of the goblin moon's proof that I'm not dead yet. And y'all can all give me a Hummer, cause in the meantime I'm gonna pimp this ride like Fly Formula Oneer. This is the L Product summer, with a gleam of factory gunmetal sheen gray and no VIN number. Drive, drive, drive. Hop in the whip and peel away, stay alive. Cars slide by with a booming system like New York is familiar with Metal Gear using Christians. Posted up for the gods of oil mining at the military Humvee with no bulletproof siding. Brooklyn, baby, I'm a waterlogged walking nervous where the curfew was imposed closing transportational service. The gonzomatic fear turns me to Hunter S. Thompson with a lawyer leading out my side view mirror vomiting. You call them winners, I call them asbestos lesseners. The wheezing at my chest, I need more than freaking air fresheners. It ain't no easy pass. Hands on the dash, you'll get rocked in the chasm if the movement's too fast. Here come the cannonballs, run, get in your gremlin. The days of thunder creeping up sooner than you expected. Paranoid brethren disabling the OnStar. Northern will trace us, pull us over and shout, get out, Lee Carr. Let's see. The thugs at the heart of Herbie the Love Bug. If it don't take a speed racing mind to know to see that they're just stuck, I'll wrap your promo truck in a NAMBLA stencil and proof the. Oh, that's. Oh, wow! I didn't even get that one before. I'll wrap your truck in a NAMBLA stencil to prove that your effing baby's frontin' up in a rental. I knew a kid who navigated a slippery and fuel-injected a speedball on his way to Atlantic City, out the race before even making his mark, and now he'll never pick his crap up out of long-term parking. My AAA card is one too many initials, an Autobot in the fringe of liquid addiction spinning fishtails, about to careen off some Toons' S off the cliff, but the love of the sport of races keep me out of coffins. Camus was like, F it, just keep the beats dirty dusty. I grabbed the CD radio like 10 Tor, good buddy. I keep running the track, even when muddy, because my insurance don't cover leaving behind a pit crew that love me. I am just failing. Okay, I'm not really doing all that well anymore, and the viewers keep plummeting. I'm gonna actually make these threads say that I'm no longer streaming, because let's be fair, they're not tuning into the stream to listen to this. Offline, save, close thread. West, edit. Offline, save, close thread. NA, offline, save, close thread. Alright, so the viewers will slowly dwindle. Do I think of a song that well, actually, there might be like a suggestion. Can you try to do a freestyle? Alright, I will freestyle. I'm really bad, let me be honest here. So let me kick off a freestyle rap right in front of the screen. I'm letting you guys know that I do love to stream, because I'm coming through and I do it for the players. I'm coming through, man, because I'm just putting on the layers. I got one layer of clothing on because it's not that cold out yet, but pretty sure, man, I'm going to need a... Yep, lost that one. I don't know what to rhyme with yet. I was trying to do like Yeti, then I was like, wait, Yeti doesn't rhyme. So I got like 2 rhymes in and I already screwed up. I don't have that good of a rhyming vocabulary yet. I got this weird like tuft of hair stuck up in my head. I don't really know why that is, but it should be gone when I go to bed. You see, I'll just, lay it down, go to sleep, and it's going to be fine. Wake up and take a shower, and then cleanliness is mine. That's right, cleanliness is mine, man, like a Mr. Clean rapping some bars. I'm coming through, man, because I rap real hard. You see, man, I'm kicking some freestyles at the top of the disc, off the top of the dome, man, just whatever, put that on the list. You see, just put a list of the punchlines that I spit through, coming through the inner tabs, man, because I got what do. Yeah, because listen up, you see, I can freestyle real well. I'm coming through, even my grammar said is a good sell. And I'm stuttering a little bit, and I'm not quite keeping the time. I realize that, man, because rapping's just not mine. You see, I'm just not the best rapper in the world. I try to be a little humble. You see, I'm going to, mess up a little bit, and maybe I'll stumble, but it's cool, man. I got a couple of rhymes coming through, maybe with some Transformers and stuff. We're gonna. I wanted to rhyme Bumblebee, the Transformers, so I started talking about Transformers, had nothing, right? It'd be great if I managed to make it work. Didn't. Let's try again. So my internet browser, you see, it's Google Chrome. I got 5 tabs open, and I'm reading them through my dome. You see, my eyes are open, my eyes are wide, because, I don't really want to get surprised, because when Shaco comes to gank, to seize over a wall, I want to stop that kid with a lay waist down the hall. Yeah, you see, I can see over there, my door is still closed, so I know that I'm okay until Flash goes. And then, of course, he's going to catch up. Maybe I'll see the puff of smoke, and then I'll stop him with a wall of pain, and then I'll just jump away broke. Because, of course, I can't last hit with a Shaco on my junk, so I'm just going to run away and hope that he gets stuffed in someone's trunk. That was bad as well. But I'm going to keep going, you see, because I'm going to freestyle constant. I'm going to come through, man, because I want nothing rhymes with concert that I know of. Nope, screwed that one up too. Now I will battle all 2,000 of you. And the viewers are still going down. I'm so surprised. So listen, if you want to step to me in a freestyle battle, well, you better be careful, because I'm going to herd you around like cattle. There's 2,000 of you doing whatever I say. So if you stepped up to me, man, I'm going to ruin your day, or ruin your night. It doesn't matter whatever I do, because I'm going to step up, man, and kick a foot through your shoe. That's right. I'm going to stomp on you, just jump up and straight down. You're going to see that I'm not really a little clown. You see, I got the disses, man. I got the punchlines lined up. So you try to step to me, but you're going to get your nose stopped up by a fist straight to your nasal cavities. And it's going to give you more than just teeth cavities. You see, I'm going to build a giant hole right into your face, because my punch is so strong, man, I'm going to knock you off base. I'm going to knock you into another planet, it seems. Because you try to step up to me, man, I'll punch you in the seams. I'll punch you in the jeans. There's a song about that. You might have heard the Lazy Island. They're cool like that. But me, man, I don't rap that whack. You see, I'm better than T-Pain, if you can put that on track. I'm really not, though. I guarantee I'm worse than any rapper in the world. But it's cool, man, because it's just fun to me to be in this world. I rhyme the word world twice, and that's fine. I'm going to do that a little bit, because I just like rapping, and I give it a little whirl. You see, I'm going to come through, and I'm going to talk about some things at the top, and they might screw up, and it might just flop, but that's fine, man. I'm just talking about maybe a nail file up in my desk. You see, it's bright gold, and, you know, like my chest, man, I hold gold in my heart. I got a heart of gold is what I'm saying. You see, I'm coming through, and I'm like I'm Super Saiyan. Man, Goku got nothing. My power level's over 5 million. You try to step up to me, man, but there's a zillion of me. That's right, you step up, and I got clones and decoys, so if you shoot a bullet, man, just a bodyguard's gonna take that and play with it like a toy. Man, I could take a bullet to my teeth, just bite down, chew on it, get a little bit of iron in my diet, because, you know, that's just me. Maybe get some vitamin A, eat some multivitamins, true. I don't think I have any in my desk, but there is some at my desk at work, Jew. Wow, that's not what I meant to say. I meant to say G. Seriously, I'm gonna stop, because, like, I didn't mean that. Sorry. Did not mean that as a diss. I meant to say G. My apologies. Moving on. Seriously. Did not. Now I just feel like a freaking stupid person. I really, 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 really did not mean that as an insult. I seriously misspoke, and I'm sorry. Dude. Because I'm rapping dude. So I got my tabs open. I'm a Google Chrome browser. It's cool, man. Maybe I'll plant some flowers, you know. Maybe some Plants vs. Zombies, or maybe there's some other games, who knows. But, you know, I'm the kind of guy who's, well, sometimes I just snooze. I hit that snooze button on my alarm, and I woke up late today. Well, actually, it was yesterday, because it's, you know, tomorrow, September the 21st. Hey, 21st, yeah. 23rd, maybe the right actual date. I'm smart. I'm completely off by that. I'm just, like, completely failing now. Seriously, I really didn't mean that. Just misspoke, I'm sorry. Okay, let me just reset. It's also like 3:30 in the morning. I should probably stop. 3:41, great. It's gonna be 4 a.m. before I know it. Let me just refresh general discussion, because someone's gonna bring that up. I'm sorry, dude, okay? This freaking... There's the thread. I'm sorry, dude, I'm closing. Please, just please let it go, guys. Please, I'm sorry. Just let it go. I've closed the thread. Alright, just let it go. Please. At Phreak. Just please, just let it go. The heck? Hold on. So I understand making the threads in jest, but some threads are just require suspensions. Typing in the password, typing in the backseat. Just one day, don't be dumb. Spamming. Come on, dude. Don't be silly. Oh my god, no I didn't. So I'm actually banning you for saying that, because that's not what I said. I know you're just trolling, but like, you're getting suspended for that thread. there's so many threads about it now. Come on, please, please. It's okay, eat some oranges. I'll let that one stay up. Just stop. There could be one thread about how I slipped up. Just stop spamming threads about it, please. Please don't. Phreak. What the f... Dude, come on. For CD, tons of rhymage. Thank you. Of course, people who aren't watching the stream are like, what are you talking about? Oh, gosh. I'm sorry, I'm just going to sit here refreshing the freaking forums for a second. Can you rap with a beat, like a real beat? I actually can beatbox a little bit. I'm mad. I'm mad at myself for screwing up. I misspoke and called someone Jew when I meant to say G. Then people started making threads. Oh, let me just down. Whoops. Alt 1? What the F? Oh, I'm in press the wrong button. There we go. Please don't keep spamming these. There is a thread about it. If you want to comment about it, just please post in the thread that I replied to. I've got almost all 40 minutes recorded of you rapping. YouTube is going to love it. Alright, that'll be glorious. Can I play my drums? I can. So, electronic drum set. I do not have them hooked up to my computer though, and I don't have. I'm not going to play them with speakers at this point. So, I want to at some point though. I do want to play them for you guys. Obviously not everyone actually cares, but I will at some point. Dude, matzo ball soup's actually mad tasty. Let's be fair here. What? Dude, I'm just straight banning you. Like, that's not acceptable. Alright. Who's your favorite champion? Corky. Alright, so I can beatbox half decent. I'm not saying I'm good, but oops, missed that. Oh, I should check US and UNE as well, because it might be there as well. US. No, I'm sad. Rhyming dictionary. Thanks, that's really useful. Alright. And I'm just, alright. Let's see, is there something else I want to cover? I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to cover, or if I'm just done. And I've actually kept all the viewers somehow. You're just freaking hardcore. Not every day. I'll stream sometimes. Let me keep NA open. Excuse me. Riot rap label isn't in the works. Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you making this thread. Oh my gosh, it's actually up on YouTube, possibly. Oh dear. This needs to be... Forbidden to use the mind, sculpture by an architect's given design, a rhythm and rhyme, trying to focus on the rhythms are right, express the deepest feelings that he hidden inside, but now we try to fight against the people that be living the lie. Problems arise, watching the youth give up and die, we're given two eyes, but life, oh man, it blind, not suddenly, all our memories is slipping the time, we trip and we climb, never running cycle to pave the path, freedom taken away, I'm feeling like caged rats, we stay trapped and still a force of letter rage blast through the lines, we're the only way to make an impact, days pass, wondering how long will this phase last, that gaze past the obvious until the brain's cracked, exploring the mind. This is like Inception, by the way. I'm watching myself watch myself. Knowledge is my lines fade black. Focus on the past, the present and future flowing through time with themselves. Alright, I'm done. So, alright, that's on YouTube. Alright, that's GG. Linkin Park, too good. Oh, I know what I want to do. Let's do, Linkin Park. Oh, wait, let me just, hold on. Linkin Park, not Carousel, what's it called? High Voltage. High Voltage is fun. I like that song. Alright, oh, and we can ditch these. Oh, and actually too, in order to, of course I should do the hat, but I have to be gangster, so. Or is it backwards? Am I supposed to do it like this? I think I'm gonna do forward. Yeah. Alright guys. What's going on? Just something to tell you who I am, you know? It's high voltage. You can't shake the shot cause nobody wants to stop. Check it out, it's high voltage. You can't shake the shot cause nobody. Why can't I do this? I know this song by like heart. Nobody wants to stop. Check it out. I've been living in crates ever since I was living in space. Before the rat race put monkeys in human traits. Master me wrong, without a shoulder of a cry on. Now it's been finished with an icon for body. I firebomb, you know confidence. I'm not coming from the confidence. It's not finished without a conflict. See your executive focus on this. It's not the thing. You can't shake the shot. You can't shake the shot. Stop, check it out. You're wrong, but think of the back line. Highways ripe with road rage, I'm patient to win, the cages that tan that bounce all around, surround sound, devouring the scene, subliminal gangrene paintings, overall the same thing, sing-song, karaoke, copy, madness, break bones verbally with sticks and stone tactics, fourth dimension, combat convention, write rhymes at ease with a track stand at attention, meant to put you away with a pencil, pistol, official, 16-line the ROM missile, right. When you risk your all, I figured out your flaws, split and raw, blah blah blah, you could say you saw, it's high voltage. Oh yes, Linkin Park, all up in this. I want to do the one, Busta Rhymes, Linkin Park, we did it. I think it's Busta, am I dumb? Yeah, it is Busta Rhymes, okay, here it is. Oh, we made it. We made it. We made it even though we had our backs up against the wall. Forever we waited. And they told us we were never gonna get it, so we took it on the road. As you can see, I survive the worst, but my life is glorious. Better know that I live every part of it, I'm so victorious. Take a look, I'm a symbol of greatness, and you can call me Morpheus. If it's screaming the good end, better win, I'm so notorious. You know that I've been about my bread, even though I'm rapping now. Used to live in the street with the higher level, tramping now. So we see everyone in the middle struggles and thinking that ever has been an option. The long it wasn't a trap. People long it was rushing with traffic. The lyrics are wrong on the page, which was really dumb. About to take the hood shopping. Yeah, so I'm not doing so well in this one. I'm gonna get embarrassed. This will get uploaded too. When it all got started, we were steadily just getting rejected, and it seemed like nothing we could do would ever get us respected. At best, we were stressed, and the worst they probably said were pathetic. Had all the pieces to the puzzle, just no way to connect it. I was fighting through every rhyme, tighten up every line, never resting the question if I was out of the line. It finally came time to do it or let it die. We put the chips on the table and put them to let it ride, sing it. And then just a rhyme, I can sing. Look, in case you misunderstand exactly what I'm building, things that I could leave for my children. Now wake up and smile to see how far I've come. Fighting for sales no strip to get the hustle from. From nights in jail on a bench, using my muscle, son. From counting money like Dre and Jimmy and Russell Ross. But now I live when I dream. You see, we finally did it. Let's make a toast to the hustle, regardless how you did it. Sing it. Yeah, not nearly as good as Busta Rhymes. Really, really bad. That is what I am at rapping. Okay. Phreak, your background music louder than you are. Oh yeah! I turned up YouTube before. That's probably good, because I was terrible then. Alright, YouTube staying there. Okay, good. Phreak is a troll. A little bit. Thanks, appreciate it. Wow, there are a lot of threads about this now. That's what I get for closing my thread, by the way. Well, I mean, like, I'm happy. Well, yeah. I mean, religion is a. Oh, I guess I'll just like go here. Religion's a topic that like is obviously very heavily debated, and you know, there's a lot of tension around it too. I mean, wars have been fought over religion, kind of a big deal. It is a thing that I think is not, you know, bad to discuss as a general concept or even specific ones, but like, you risk a lot doing so just because. You know, if you misspeak or come off ignorant, that's a terrible thing. You know, you know, a lot of people base large parts of their lives around their religions. Like, I don't want to belittle them by misspeaking about it. And then, of course, there's also been groups that have been, you know, persecuted for their beliefs. And, you know, in America, like, Muslims got a really bad rap for a while because the whole 9/11 thing. And I still don't think they're really, like, I mean, they're still good, you know, racists. They were like, freaking, that's terrible. And so, you know, I've seen religions used as insults, and that's so dumb. So yeah, you know, the way it was said was primed to be an insult, and so it's not what I intended. I knew, by the way, I knew this would happen too, is like, I knew from just the amount of times that I've commentated and streamed that I knew at some point I would say something like that. I knew it would happen. I was like, alright, well, it's just gonna be apologize profusely, be like, I didn't mean to say that, I'm sorry. I do not write any of these lyrics. Let me tell you that real quick. I have not written any of these. Oh, however, I did write. So here's a fun story. Senior year of high school, in English, we had the thing called the senior project, which was take something you're interested in but you don't actually know how to do, and do something about it. And so I was like, I like music. I could play drums, and that was fine. I was interested in hip hop though, and I was like, I will. So what I did was basically I got Fruity Loops and made a beat on my computer, and then wrote a song and performed it. I don't have the lyrics anymore, though I know parts of it. And I then performed it in front of like the rest of the English class at like the end of the year. It was actually, I mean, for being 18, not terrible, but still pretty bad. I remember the first verse, so, or at least parts of it. Let's go something like this. Here you go. Enjoy your frapsing. Let's go. I know you're only 12, I know you play RT, so then you gotta know you got nothing on me. I'm gonna take you out like all the rest, and then you're gonna get a gat to the chest. I'm gonna take you out with a hunt surround, killed all you noobs just like a clown. Yeah, 'cause I'm the big pimp and the best you see. You better just quit if you see your verse me. There was a time in life when I thought I'd be nothing. I practiced all day and then I finally found something. Playing all day and microing hard. Realizing my game was like Van Gogh art. Taking out noobs like they bowling pins. Racking up 0 losses and 500 wins. Taking you to school like I'm your teacher. I know you'd praise me if I were to meet ya. Almost 3 years and I'm still owning your crew. I'm gonna take them all out and own them just like you. Everyone knows I'm the best that ever was. Everyone knows me and knows that I own. Cause I'm the best there ever was. So good! So good! Such a good song. I'm phenomenal. I'm an amazing, amazing artist. No, I'm not. That's one of them, yes. Thank you for Phreak mentioned people who are persecuted for their beliefs. Yes, that was one of the examples. Don't be dumb. Come on. And immediately there was a thread. Alright, I just made you guys I should probably like reopen my stream thread because everyone's just spamming threads about this now. I mean, thankfully it's like 4 in the morning, so we're not disrupting most major chat, but wow. So apparently this is what happens when like HotChatGG sneezes. Someone makes a thread about it. I don't want to know what happens when he does something actually noteworthy. Oh dear. I think the forums might die if that happened. Oh dear. Why are law pros ugly? Whatever. To stare at the ceiling with a rape face. What the heck? Come on! Stop! I'm never gonna live that one down. So it's maxing parlay last, misspeaking the word G. I like how I misspoke the word misspeak. Misspeaking the word G. And at least like Trinity Force and tons of damage are positive things, but man, this has not been my week. Well, Gay's gameplay was 2 weeks ago. Ish. Alright, it's 4 in the morning. I'm done, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. You're a great set of people. Please just stop mentioning me misspeaking that, please. Please. Else.
Cap to the right now. That's right. And I think it's going to be it for me. So you guys are awesome. Thanks for tuning in. I'm closing all my windows. I guess I'll just go, bam, giant me. But thanks so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. And I'm done. So good night, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Peaked at around 5,500. It's pretty good. Had some fun. I don't know if it was a good or bad thing to have all those songs up on YouTube. At least like Heartless went decently, and I mean, like if you're gonna like promote any of them as like, hey, watch this one, do LP's what's it Overly Dramatic Truth and Heartless, which was like the second and fourth song done. Those I think actually, for me, performed well. I'm obviously not exactly good, but you know, whatever. I mean, I did them to, you know, be in front of thousands of people, just because I'll do it. So, you know, just please let go of the slip up, just please. Anyway, good night, guys, and I'm gonna leave. I mean, stream's gonna be on for a little while. I'm just gonna spam ads for a short time, but good night.